This episode of Catch the Craze is brought to you by.
We have just a few reasons why you should pick up a copy of This Nailed in My Toilet, book number 3, IG Wawa, today. You'll join all of the others and pick up a copy today.
What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
We're excited because we have an old friend of ours, KJ Murphey's coming on. Talk to us about Road to Valhalla, number 3. This one finishes off the trilogy. So he's going to be talking to us about that. And we're going to tell you how to get issue number 3. Coming up next.
Let's do it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sim, the Crazy Man, Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, October 11th. It is 8 p.m. here in the East Coast, 7 p.m. in Central Time where Sammy is right now. And we are coming to you live with another episode of Catch the Craze. And we have another guest with us tonight, a very good friend of ours, KJ Murphey, in this crazy independent world.
the doctor's in the house.
That's right, baby. And he's on. But before we talk to him and before we tell you what we're going to be talking about today, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 1,000. Hit the like button. Comment below. If you're in the chat right now, say hello. Say what's up. We are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, right? All over the place. So
that's all I can afford. It's not in the budget to go further than that.
That's it. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. But yeah, Sam. So we are here. We are live. We have a lot to talk about tonight with KJ. We're also going to be on with John Escobalis. Forgot to mention that. Can't forget that. He is the co-writer of the story, so he's going to be on with us as well. Word to Big Bird, sir.
Word to Big Bird. Yes, it's a busy week, and then after this show, catch me on the Nerds. I'll be with the Nerds. Catch me outside.
All right.
Yes, I'll be on Nerds in the Round, talking about Game of Thrones and the She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, House of the Dragon, my man.
House of the Dragon. Yes.
We were just talking about that behind the scenes.
Crazy.
Keith, I'm sure he's watching it too. He was going crazy, talking about, yo, it's the Game of Thrones, baby. But it really is. That show's bananas right now.
I binge watched it because I missed the last 7 episodes. I only seen episode 1. So when I looked, I said, go up to 8. I was like, damn, I had to binge watch the whole thing. And the first night, episodes 2 through 5, my stomach, it was like, yo, this is crazy. And I couldn't sleep because that's all I thought about was all the deception and the conniving and the treachery. And I was like, this is crazy. I can't sleep. I was like, my mind was all messed up. I slept like 2 hours that night. So I was like, I can't do it again. So we decided to watch it in the afternoon and that before we go to bed. So we caught up. My wife and I caught it yesterday.
Does she like it? Is she liking the show?
She doesn't like all the nudity and the extreme violence. She loves the Lord of the Rings because it's not so grotesque. I mean, that slicing of the head wide open. And they always got to show the man's tentacles. I'm like, all right, just
Tentacles.
a silhouette. Throw some leaves. It's like do some silhouettes. Cast a shadow. It's like,
Interesting. Yeah. You're also going to be talking about She-Hulk on that show.
oh,
Which
She-Hulk.
I gotta say, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not the demographic.
She's a
45-year-old male.
vixen. She's a lady of the night. That's all she.
Wow, he just called her a lady of
Yo,
the night.
she's got to control herself, man. It's like,
Wow.
slow down.
Wow. Yeah, no, that actually, but this episode was probably one of the
I
ones
said
that
she's
I
gonna
enjoyed
catch
the most.
something, but she already has gamma rays, so she's good.
Yeah. No, this episode I think was my favorite out of the entire season. I think it's because they had Daredevil in it.
I actually liked the first episode with her and and Bruce Banner, David Banner. I like that one. Because everything from that point on, I don't understand the whole purpose of what they're trying to do. I don't, what is the other than her trying to find a mate. I'm not understanding where it's going.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. It's not for me. Okay, yeah, Keith is talking about Werewolf by Night. I haven't seen it yet.
I started watching it. It has that, that vintage, back in the days type Abbott and Costello feel to it. But I haven't been able. There's just so much, bro.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Too much.
Throwing a lot at us. A lot is being thrown at us. Yes. Speaking of werewolves, which aren't the same thing, but Wendigos. And we're going to be talking to Keith about his book, Road to Valhalla, which deals with some of those creatures as well, and his 32-page tale of Vikings facing off against Wendigos. It's the final battle. It's the final battle for the Road to Valhalla, and you're getting the complete series. Now, we did tease you about how you would be able to get that book if you have started reading 1 and 2. Issue number 3 is on Kickstarter right now. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure you check it out. We're going to be talking to him and John, the creative team behind the book, and we're going to be talking about, just their process and the whole thing. They're up to 54 backers. They have 21 days to go, and they are at 1965 of a $2,500 goal. So they're gonna make it. So it ends Wednesday, November 2nd at 9:19 a.m. All right, cool stuff. But you got something going on too, Sammy. What you got going on your neck of the woods? What's happening with Duty? Talk to me.
I got Dudarius Uranius, and this is the longest campaign in the history of campaigns. So we finally got funded this weekend, a couple of days ago. But it's
up with the yay.
It's a slow crawl. But we're there now, and we're 4 backers away from unlocking the next backer goal. And we are 29 backers away from unlocking 4 free PDF comic downloads from indie creators JD Calderon, Daphne Lage, and JD Rosario. So there's a lot going on in the campaign, and so again, if you haven't backed it, give it a shot. This is something for everybody. There's part 3 of There's an End in My Toilet. So if you got 1 and 2, you're gonna want 3, because finally there's human contact. There's a Chihuahua named Herman. There's the government agency. There's a whole lot going on in Duty's world, and but there's also a second book, Duty's Monsters on Planet Cthulhu, which is the first book that I've done in over a decade, from start to finish, 100% dolo, which means solo, and it's really good. And it's part 1 of 3, a mini series that's also available on the campaign. So, and then if you have a child, 4-year-old, there's Duty's Adventures, where Duty's growing up on his home world, and he has to deal with a school bully. And there's only one way to deal with a school bully, and that's becoming a superhero. And Duty does in his imagination. And what's great about this book, it's interactive. And every page turn has questions that the child can answer. So it's great for the parent or guardian and the child to interact with each other. And then the last 6 pages, the child can write their own ending and draw their own characters in the book. So there's something for everybody. The campaign, there's 8 days left, and give it a shot.
8 days, damn, already?
8 days a week. I love you. And what's even greater, there's no risk to anybody, because everything's printed. The only risk is to me, right? Because I decided to be a knucklehead and go and print everything ahead of time. So everything's already been printed, so there's no risk to you. So you're going to get it. I've been seeing a lot of chatter on social media about backers getting stiffed on their stuff. This is my 8th campaign, and everything's been delivered early or on time. So, and I pride myself on that. And this time I wanted to beat my time, which is why I decided I wanted to print it earlier. So there's no risk to anybody. So give it a shot. If you like to laugh, if you like Buzz Lightyear, Invader Zim, Alf, Looney Tunes, you're going to enjoy this.
It's a little bit for everybody up in that
Everybody.
place. So yeah, so make sure you hit that pledge button, that little green button. Just hit pledge to this campaign
Word.
and drop some money
Look
into
for
the
that.
duty box.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah, 9 days. Jeez, man, time's
8.
flying, bro. 8
I
days.
know.
Well,
It feels like
Oh,
800
wow.
days. This has been like, whew, it's like the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not doing another one till next year. I don't know how JD and Daphne do. As I don't know, they do like a million.
But
A
you
year.
say next year, and it's really just 3 months away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right? You know what I mean? Like
You got to
comes
be the
quick.
one.
It comes
You gotta be the
quick.
one.
Yeah, it
Let
comes.
me enjoy the fact that I said next year.
You can't. Listen,
Psychologically, it's very
here,
important to my stability, to my
I'm here to
mental health.
keep you-
That's why we have KJ Murphy on the show, because I need to talk to a doctor, because this is out of control.
man. I'm here to keep you grounded. I need you to
Yeah.
stay focused.
I'm gonna
Okay,
give you something to ground.
you're looking ahead. You need help. You're looking too far ahead. Stay in the moment. We're here right now. You still have 8 days. Sorry, 8 days left. A little over a
From
week.
this
Listen,
moment.
you know that the last 2 days of the campaign, that's when people start.
No, I
coming out of
don't.
the
You
woodwork.
say that all the time. No, I don't.
Out of the woodworks, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
The last 2 days of the campaign is when people are going to just start coming out of
Oh, the people that said we made him suffer long enough. Let's go.
That's
Let's go hit him up.
That's right. They're checking their bank account. You know the way their bank account is set up. They got the checkings.
I'm gonna
and
be
the
out there
savings.
with a tin can going toppings.
That's it.
I'll juggle for some toppings.
They're just waiting, bro. They're waiting. They're like, okay, wait, what's the date? Okay, no, we're good. Nothing's due. Nothing's due that day. I can make the pledge, and that way you don't have to worry about people dropping. You know,
I
how
got
it is.
holes in my shoes. I'm out. Hit a brother up. And
See, but we talk about this all the time because Keith's in the background. He said people need multiple reminders, and that is true. And here's the thing: we spoke about this before. Listen, there's a new CEO at Kickstarter right now. Gentleman's name is Everett Taylor. Mr. Taylor, I'm talking to you straight up right now. Please let us know who are these people that are following the campaign, so we can reach out to them and say, hey, don't forget, my campaign is still live and I have about 8 days left. Even if you give us maybe 3 shots at them, not every day, I get it, because we don't want to, scare people away. But if you give us the information, we can hit them up, even if it's just 3 times throughout the campaign, in the beginning, somewhere in the middle, and towards the end. That's it, Mr. Everett Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's it. All we need is to be able to get to those people, because obviously they're interested.
Hold me back.
They're obviously interested. If they hit that, button to
I'm gonna hit something.
Notified, they're interested. So let us know who they are so that we can send them friendly reminders.
Yes.
Friendly reminders.
You be friendly.
That's it. Yeah, well, not maybe don't see. This is why, Sam. This is why we're not gonna get that, because your crazy ass trying to jump through the screen. And Mr. Taylor, forgive him. He does not know what he's doing.
Mr. Taylor.
Focus
Mr.
over
Taylor.
here. Focus. No.
It says the crazy man. There's a reason for that, Mr. Taylor.
No. Ignore that man. Ignore that man, Mr. Taylor. Jesus. Holy cow. See, this is why you can't have nice things, Sam. You can't have nice things.
Can't have nice things.
Oh, man.
And if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, come down and see me at the Dallas Fan Festival this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be at booth 833 getting my duty on. So come on and check me out. It's going to be fun. And we're signing books and have commissions and prints and all that other good stuff.
Hey, just a reminder, issue number 3 is available. So you're probably going to be selling it there, no?
Oh, yeah, I printed everything.
Issue number 3 is there. So get that Kickstarter or get it there.
Yes, I'm using Through These Monsters as a means to drive traffic from the event to the Kickstarter. So it's going to be fun. So hopefully this is a really productive weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. So it's going to be dope.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. Well,
without further ado, we have a bunch of what do they call them? Blokes, right?
Blokes.
right? Waiting in the background.
I call them mates.
Mates?
And the mates in.
No. You could say
buddies.
they're mates.
Stop it. They're mates. Across the pond, they're mates.
You don't watch too much of Game of Thrones.
Hey,
all right,
mate.
let's get the show on the road. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
we're here.
All right. Well, listen, just a reminder for everybody who just joined us, we are talking to, look at that. Oh, wow, we got swords and everything.
Wow.
Where's your axe, John? Where's your axe?
Oh, wait, they got weapons. Wait, we got weapons? I got a water bottle. What are we doing over here? What are we doing?
I've had this
I got my sword. Hold on.
All right, cool. Yeah, hold the sword. Makes you feel like more secure.
There you go.
Oh my God.
This is actually real. Like mine's plastic.
Mine is real.
That's plastic?
This is real.
Plastic.
I did not get the memo. Holy.
Mine will rust.
I got a shield too, and I could probably take one hit from his axe.
Oh, here goes Sam. What are you
What are you showing off, Keith?
I just happened to look over there. I was like, I'm gonna bring.
Hold
these
on,
up.
I also
These
have-
guys will appreciate.
I also have a
There you go.
dagger. I also have my dagger.
That's badass. All right.
It's a letter opener.
All real. So I got my sword and my dagger.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have your Highlander sword?
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen,
Can
if you
only
guys
be
just
one.
joined us, we are talking to the creators of Road to Valhalla. We are working here with Mr. John Escabales and KJ Murphey. Now, if you are a fan of the show, Mr. Murphy was on the show on episode 210 back in November 4th of 2020. And that was when we were promoting issue number 1 of
a long
Road
time
to
ago.
Valhalla. Yes.
It was ancient.
And then in January, when you fulfilled the campaign, Sam got his hand on the book. He did a What's in the Box episode number 14,
That was
breaking it down. That was on the 27th of January of 2021. So you've been at this for a little bit. You've been at this for a little bit, and the story finally comes to a conclusion in this 3rd episode, which is now on Kickstarter. So you must be excited about that, right?
We're both thrilled. I mean, it's kind of it's like you get to the finish line, you're like, cool, now we can do something else, So that's what we've been talking about.
Start all
for a
over
while.
again. Something else.
Yeah, basically, you build something else up, start a new world, kind of thing.
That's the beauty, man. That's the beauty of being, just creators and indies. We could just finish a project and go on to the next one. And I'll start by asking you guys this question. Just for people who are watching, maybe they didn't catch episode 210. And I'm going to ask it to you this way, okay? So I'll start with you, John. Tell us about yourself and your creative involvement in Road to Valhalla.
I've been writing for longer than I care to admit, since high school, and Keith and I been trying to get something together, and for many years at that point, and COVID hit, and we were lucky enough to
We
have
worked
the
on a
time
couple
and
things.
but I mean, this was
Yeah.
we had done the Christ, I can't remember the name of it, the thing with Matt
Anthology
Ryan.
books. Yeah.
Right, yeah, we had done those things, but we wanted to do something different than what we had done before.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And when Keith wanted to do Vikings and Wendigos, and we just kind of started throwing ideas back and forth. But then once the COVID hit, we had a lot more time on our hands, and the whole thing coalesced nicely. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you're the writer on the book, right, John?
yeah, I do most of the writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith definitely throws ideas in. He's like, "Oh, I want to draw this. I want to see that." I weave it in, but yeah, most of the stuff is mine. Yeah.
It's great. It's great. And Keith, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about what you do and your involvement creatively with the story itself.
Yeah, I'm a co-creator, artist, and I throw in my 2 cents, like John says, and it's been working. It's a good collaboration, it really is. Kind of where each other's strengths are. He'll have an idea for a page, and he's really great. He'll sketch something out, and then I'll just kind of run with it, and I'll tweak it a little bit, and then we've got something or not. We keep working at it till we get what we need, and it's been really a pleasure working with John. I see him doing a lot of projects in the future with other artists, not just me. So it'd be good.
Awesome. Yeah, no. I just reread both issues right before we came on, and it's a very, very good story, man. Like I really like the way you guys have have weaved like you go back in time, come back, and like the way you're just handling the storytelling, it's really well done. Really. Now, who's gonna take the credit for the dope ass title "Road to Valhalla"? Who's
Keith is gonna take that credit. Keith is totally.
I don't know. I have moments where something stays with you. You know, you're on the toilet and you're, this is a good idea. You know,
yeah, that's usually how it works.
Didn't we have a better story? Remember we talked about the better story, Keith? What's the other?
There's always a better story, right? I think it's the idea that keeps gnawing at you that you kind of go, I got to do something with this, or got to, you know. And I think that's, you know, we knew we wanted to do a Viking thing, and Viking lore is, you know, their whole belief system was around this Valhalla thing, and it had to have the word Valhalla in it. We couldn't just call it Valhalla, and you know, there's a lot of other Viking properties out there that use Valhalla, so you know, it's like, well, you know, why don't you just say it's the road to Valhalla? You know, it's this guy's journey to getting to where he wants to be. So that was it. And just stuck, you know. John was good with it. I was good with it. That was the end of it, you know.
No, it
was hard to walk away from. Once I heard it, I just thought, okay, we definitely. I just started seeing stuff in my head, and it came to life.
Who designed the logo?
Google. Who designed the logo? Mindy did. Mindy Lopkin did. Yep. Okay. She just picked a Viking font and just rocked it, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. It all kind of.
She is the go-to person for anything like that.
Yeah, no, her lettering is really good too in the book. She's the letterer of the book, for those who don't know.
Yes,
she did an incredible job with the lettering. And listen, let me tell you something. For somebody who does lettering for my books, and I've done stuff for Sam and other people, it's so important to have a letterer who's not going to mess up the book. You know what I mean? Like, because a messy, you know, letterer or something that doesn't look right is definitely going to take the eye away from the beautiful artwork, and then the focus comes on that jarring thing that's like, oh man, I wish they had done that. So she's doing an incredible job. Really, really, really solid team. I know that for the first issue, you guys had Leonardo DiMaggio, and then in the second issue, Sean Lee came in to do the coloring in the book. Are you who's coming in the third one? You have a new colorist, or?
No, it's Sean again. Sean came back, thankfully. We really loved what he did with the second one, and before the second one was even launched, I said, dude, can you come back for the third one? And he said yes, and I was like, awesome, because I really want some consistency. I don't want to have to worry about, you know, another colorist. And you know, I think, you know, you don't want to compare or contrast what people do, but I like what Sean does a lot. You know, he kind of adds a whole different kind of dimensionality to it. Kind of it's really heavy on textures, and he makes really good color choices, and it looks kind of washy, and I love that kind of stuff. So it's great.
It complements your artwork too, KJ. Like it really does. It really complements. And I do have to say that it doesn't, like, Sean is incredible. He really is. And he did that piece. You know, he works with Hector also a lot. And he did a piece. He did a piece for me for my Kickstarter when we did my Kickstarter for my launch. He did he did a pinup, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. But it's not. So if you read issue 1 and issue 2. It's a good compliment. Like it's not like a huge, like you're like, oh man, what they totally changed.
Yeah, it's not jarring.
Yes, it isn't. It isn't. It really just flows really nice right into.
Well, we did tell Sean, match it up as close as you can, at least on the first couple of pages.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was that concern that it was going to be radically different. You know, it's like one of those, like, you don't want it to happen, and it was sad, and you know, you say goodbye and to Leonardo, but then you're excited to work with Sean, so it worked out really well.
Absolutely. Sammy, I don't know if you had something to ask the guys. I don't want to take up the whole thing.
No, continue. I'm just setting things up.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, what I was going to ask, and listen, I'm huge on the process of creating comics, right? And especially when it comes to, like, from the writing standpoint. So John, I'm going to ask you this: when it comes to when you pick up the project, especially when you're working with someone else, do you sit down and outline the story? How are you guys collaborating in the writing? What's the process? Take us inside the writer's room.
Well, like I said, I will usually outline something, send it off to Keith, and then he'll be like, you know, I don't want to draw a truck. I don't want to draw, he'll let me know what he likes and what he doesn't, and then we'll go back and forth on some of those points. And we usually smooth it out. And so it's usually outlining, a lot of outlining, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I outline way too much, to the point where I think I'm taking up way too much of Keith's time with my outlines a lot of the time. Yeah. World of Valhalla could have been 12 issues long easily if Keith didn't rein me in.
Okay. I kept on saying it's a mini series, man. It's a mini series.
Yeah, remember we said 3 issues? I said I have no recollection of that.
No, I also noticed that the pages, a lot of your artwork, Keith, is open. There's not that many. It's not like a lot of panels blocking things in. You have a very open kind of style when you're drawing and when you're designing these pages. Was the script written in like that Marvel way, where it's like, okay, on page 1 this is going to happen, and here you go, Keith, draw it out? Or is it more like the DC method where you're panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, and then you just say, nah, screw that?
Oh no, this is not DC. No, it doesn't get DC till the end, I think, with John. He won't decide on the final dialogue until literally the art's colored and getting lettered, and then he has something and then it's lettered, and then he might go back and tweak it or ask me what I think. But usually he waits till almost it gets printed before it's in the stone, almost, in a way, which is
George
good.
Lucas said you don't finish anything, you abandon it,
right.
You have to let
it's sort of, I think, and I've kind of just accepted that's how John works, and because I've known him for so long, and I've worked with him on other projects, and I'm very flexible with John. I trust John, and he trusts me, and that's why it works, and he's a good friend of mine. So that's just like, it's kind of like a twofold kind of thing, really. So, but I think because I can get together with him in real time, I can come to his house, because he only lives less than a half hour from me. And we could sit down in his writing room or in his kitchen and talk about these things. Or sometimes he comes up my way. He doesn't like my animals because he's allergic to them. But, no, but, we get together.
I want to like breathing. I'm attached to breathing.
I don't blame you. I like to breathe too. Sometimes we don't even talk about comics. Like we threw axes like a month ago, after John and me, and we didn't hardly talk about anything.
No, they went to a place.
Just wood this time. Just wood. We'll see what happens next time.
He said at each other.
That's it. That's when the Kickstarter's over. We have to split, figure out where all the money's going.
I think we got a very organic thing, John and me, and he comes up with something, or I'll come up with, I'll write something down, and I'll say, here's what I'm thinking. And then he'll goes, all right, this is kind of online with what I'm thinking. And then he'll put it together, and then he'll tweak it or add things to it. So it's a back and forth thing. And then when it's time to do the pages, John usually has a really kind of very visual mind about what he wants on the page. And if I don't get it, he'll do a quick thumbnail of something, and he's not a bad artist, actually. And I can look at his little scratches, and I know what it means. And he actually used to draw on these oil napkins. He's at work. He would, steal these like heavy blue fabricy like paper towels, and they're meant for absorbing oil, right, John, or something? Something like that.
But it was all I had laying around. So
yeah. But he would just draw these. He would draw on these napkins, basically, and then I was like, oh, all right, perfect. I've got something to look at. I got kind of used to that. So yeah, he takes a lot of the thinking.
Dying to tell a story.
No, he takes a lot of the thinking out of it, and John's kind of much more of a comic book historian than I am, because when I read comics as a kid, I wasn't worried about who was writing or who was drawing it until I got older, and I was like, oh yeah, there's actual people that make these things. But John, he really knows all the writers and all the artists from back in the day, and he really knows his stuff. And if I don't know something, I'll ask John. He usually knows, about something, related to comic book creators. And kind of a wealth of knowledge.
Deep about life or anything. He doesn't ask me that shit.
No, I don't. I don't ask him about really important stuff. Just like
no, just the comic book stuff. I can pull that off.
Yeah. Who wrote X-Men 25? Now go. So when you guys have done this, obviously this is the 3rd issue now of the book, and so the book is getting ready to come out and stuff like that. I know you said this could have been 12 issues, John. What happened? At what point were you just like, let's just do 3? Like what was the deciding factor?
What happened was Keith reminded me, we had only wanted to do 3 issues. It was originally a Viking slasher flick, so it was very straightforward and slick. That's why there's not tons of details regarding who is who, where they come from, all that crap. it's just a Viking slasher flick. So, and I think it's probably a lot deeper than your average slasher flick because it does go into the history of where these people are coming from and why they're making the decisions they're making at that moment in the present tense with the monsters and stuff and with the Native Americans and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So I had written a short novel, and Keith was just like, we can't fit this in 3 issues. And I was like, of course not, And then when I started breaking it up page by page, panel by panel, a lot of stuff had to go by the wayside. But that's what the bonus content on the deluxe version is for, right? So there may very well be a Road to Valhalla novella somewhere,
I think there should be. I think there should be. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, Keith and I have already talked about it.
Yeah, no, because it is a rich world. Like when you read it, and it's the opening scene in the first issue, he's talking to like the fire, and you want to know who is this person, right? I mean, you get a sense, and if you guys when you guys read it, for those watching the show, you do get to know that kind of stuff. But it's nice the way you guys just kind of throw us right into that world, and then you're taken a year later, and what happened to Eric at that moment when he met these people, and now you're taken into this world and what happened to Eric, and when you see Eric again in issue number 2, you're like, whoa, that's what happened to Eric, right? And you're like, holy cow! And now, like, you're right, you get the slasher part of the story into it. What can we expect in issue 3? What are we getting in issue 3?
Conclusion. You find out what happens to Eric. You find out what happens to Bran and Bodil, the other Vikings, and then not without giving anything away, right? I don't know if John has anything else.
No, you nailed it. Yeah, it's kind of an ending. Some people live, some people die, and we left it open enough that we could revisit it, but not. Every issue there have been a body count. And this one's not any different. So
absolutely.
Well, that was the original idea, is that everyone was going to die, but then of course somebody has to live to tell the tale. At the end.
Yeah. How's this story get around? Yeah.
Right. I feel like with the amount of story that you guys have, you can always just do filler issues almost. Like, this happened in between this, and then you're just telling that story in one shot or whatever, and it could go on. It could continue even in that way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. John's already thought about, a book that can have happened before it and a book that can happen right after it. So, you really can do a lot
or
more. Or
even 5 years or 2 years after it or something. Yeah. By the end of the book, there are little pieces, just little snippets of things that are going to make you wonder, what's he going to do about that? But, you'll see why he can't do anything about it in this story. And you'll wonder, is he going to do something about it? Why didn't we see that?
Right.
But the story that's on hand is what gets solved. Monsters and
and what I like about it too, it's you'll say it's a Viking story, it's a Wendigo story, but I think that what makes this different than anything else I've read, even in this genre, is the slasher element of it. They're being hunted by these Wendigos. And you talk about how a Wendigo is created and how that happens, and then when you realize who these Wendigos are in issue number 2, you're like, whoa, you know what I mean? And so for those watching, obviously, and who maybe just heard of Road to Valhalla, I know that in this Kickstarter you do have catch-up tiers. You do have a catch-up tier, so people can get issues 1 and 2, and obviously 3 if you haven't done so yet. So I'm glad that you guys did that. But this is also a prequel to Torn, right, Keith? You had a story a few years ago called Torn, and it was about a Wendigo. And this is almost like a prequel to that, correct?
It happens hundreds of years before. Yeah, basically, it's the same mythology. It's the same Wendigo, Native American folklore. That it's the same type of creature, just different time. It happens during Viking times.
Another dope title, Torn. So, and the thing is, you can write stories up to that. Like, it can almost catch itself up, almost like we were talking about the Game of Thrones thing. Like, you can almost catch it up. You can write stories up until Torn, and then even beyond, which is the beauty of it.
Yeah, and I think everything we've done. I was talking to John about this. Like between Hell's Blood and Torn and Road to Valhalla, and now even this new thing we're talking about doing, this Asian influenced book. It all involves different cultures and their mythologies, their demons, their gods and goddesses, and all their monsters. And I think that's really what I'm attracted to, all that stuff.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And we have your campaign up. So you're up to 1970s. It looks like you got another pledger there. Just while we were on. So
awesome.
So this is the campaign. The video is up. Are you going to play that, Sam? Or can we play that, guys? Or
yeah, go
sure.
ahead. It's got Justin's guitar licks on it, so there's no narration.
My son's music. Yeah,
it's John's son playing the guitar.
He slapped the video together, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
right.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my son did. Yeah.
Wow, that was good.
Very dark.
Yeah, no,
I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, it looks even better now than it did a couple months ago.
Yeah, man, I love that. I love that.
You gotta have to
pay
move
that
it,
kid.
Yeah.
Seriously, I love the way he did that. He cut that up real nice, man, with the music.
Yeah.
He did the last one too. He did the last video for book 2. Did that?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that is awesome. So what is the tier that excites you guys the most in this campaign?
Well, I think we offer the kind of exclusive all print everything we've got for the last 10 years option, which is a print copy of Torn, which I have a few left, some of my art books, some of John's books, and Hell's Blood, the trade, and a couple other things I think we threw in there just to we've sold a couple of those. I think the early bird people were smart. They came in on the first day. I wish I had put the early bird specials for another day and gave people an extra day to, I think that would really help us more.
Right.
Something to take note for the next campaign.
Yeah. It was 24 hours, right? It was just the first 24 hours.
It wasn't. I launched at 9, and then at midnight I turned it off. I didn't even wait till the next morning. I just, I was kind of stingy that way. But it was my first time offering early bird specials across the board, and I'm going to do it every time now because that really helped us a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. I was, as soon as I saw that, that's the one I went for. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
early bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no thinking involved.
No, not at all. I was like, early bird sounds good to me.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, early bird special. Let's go. No, it's a good one because you were able to get the first issue, and then you also had the digital copies of the issues as well. So that was good. Yeah.
I learned a lot from the first and second launch. Each time I launched, I learned something new, and this time was the same thing. I did a couple of different things, and it really, I think it's helped us quite a bit.
Yeah, no. It's you guys are doing really well. I mean, you had a fabulous first day, obviously, like you said, because of that early bird special. But even as the campaign has moved along, I mean, you guys still have about 3 weeks. I mean, it's like it seems like a long time. I'm sure it's going to fly, but you still have room to obviously make way above your goal. What are some? I know we're scrolling through the campaign now. What are some of the stretch goals you guys have planned once you guys?
Well, the first thing is when we hit 65 backers, we're unlocking a digital Halloween monster book So that'll be like all the I'm doing a drawing a day right now to try to support the campaign, and I've sold a few of them already. So people just go on and back the campaign and donate towards the art, and then they get the art at the end. I'm going to scan it before that and make a little digital book and give it out to everybody as a thank you for backing the campaign, a little something extra. And then when we hit the goal of 2,500, we're going to do Viking insignia coasters. So everyone gets a coffee mug coaster or whatever. So those are pretty easy to make and throw in a box,
Yeah.
I was thinking about small things. I didn't want to like do anything big,
Yes, smart. Yeah.
No axes, no plastic swords.
No, unfortunately, for the sword, that'd be great. Maybe a little letter opener. That's a little axe or something.
There you go.
That's a nice one. Yeah, that's good.
Keychain, axe keychain.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
See, I'm always thinking, man. I'm hustling like Sam. Like Sam's my inspiration, man. Because Sam, you launched like a week or two before us, right?
Yeah.
But even before that, man, you were like on every day, trying to get followers, and I was like, this kid's doing it right, man. I got to follow his lead. I was doing the same. I was trying to go on every day, and it's exhausting to go on every day and hustle, and you're doing it before the campaign, like a month before, then during, and then even after, you're still reminding people it's.
Yeah, it's a 2 month. It's a 2 month campaign, really, because you're
really
doing all
is.
that work before it, and then when it's live, obviously you have to be on there letting people know it's live. So it's definitely.
I already have the landing page.
And then there's fulfillment
at the end of the campaign for the next one.
Yeah. So you're way ahead of me, man.
And John, you're right. Then there's fulfillment. So there's that other part of it,
Yeah. So it's not over yet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it never ends. It's a never ending thing.
Oh, that's what you needed the key holders thing for, was for the big package one. Okay.
Yeah, that is a big package, man. You guys do have, obviously we've been doing this for a long time, so you have a lot of content, and there are a lot of books. Can you get some of this stuff even if you don't get the big, the big
I usually
add-ons?
I think we have a few add-ons, and actually Hector has this really cool shirt. You're going to come up on it. It's like a Mario Walking Dead crossover shirt, and he gave me one when we threw axes, and I thought about it the other day. I was like, dude, can you donate some of these shirts for the cause? And so I put that on like the other morning, and like literally that morning I sold like our first shirt. I only said there's 5 available, and of course somebody was like, I'm on that shirt. So
that's cool, man.
Anything we can to get the money to come in, just each day, if something comes in each day, it's a victory. It's a day when there's no money coming in, that it's like, all right, that was kind of a waste of the day. So every day I'm just trying to keep people looking at it until it's done.
I was when I remember when I had my campaign live, I was trying to get like at least a pledge a day, like even if it's one pledge, it's not just sitting there idle, that
it's movement. It's not a flat line. There's nothing worse than seeing a flat line for weeks.
That's it. I'm jumping off the roof.
Yeah.
Even for a day, it's annoying.
George is really right. It will work out. George is a very positive dude. Because the last 2 days, what happens is everyone gets notified. If someone said I'm interested, they'll get the email from Kickstarter. You're going to send them an email and remind them, hey, I'm ending in 72 hours or 24 hours. And then that's their last chance. If they don't get on it now, they're not going to get the book, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's a shirt?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's a shirt. Yeah.
Sean Lee did the colors on that too, right?
He did. Yeah. Sean almost exclusively colors Hector's stuff.
I mean, the two of them make such an amazing pair.
It's a dynamic duo, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're killing it.
Hector knows what he likes. Yeah.
Yeah. that is a nice shirt, though. I remember when I saw this when he posted it. It's really cool looking image, man.
My daughter took mine.
I'm not.
She knows who the characters are. I don't even know who the characters are. I just like the art.
Hey, John, you can buy another one on our campaign.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should do that. I'll get my wife to do it incognito. Don't tell anybody.
It's our secret. The 4 of us only know.
There you go.
Only we will know. Yeah, these pages, man. This is the interior art I was telling you guys about. Like, I love the way you kind of a lot of it is very open. You know, it allows you to.
Yeah, I was under that great German kind of beliefs, the idea that less is more, and you need room on the page for the eye to move around, and you can't be too busy, and you need space for the dialogue and the captions, and I'm not really big on putting a bunch of stuff in, and I'm not big on a little. John knows this about me. I don't really like little panels, and thankfully he's sort of the same way. You know, I think we came from a certain era, a certain time of comic book creating where 3 panels to 5 panels a page was the norm. You know, it wasn't like fitting 10, 20 panels on one page now, and I mean, you got a lot, but that's storytelling, right? You put that many panels on the page, and you're really slowing the page down. When you want action, you put less panels on the page. You want to
for an
move the
action
story along. Exactly. You want people to hang on the page
fan,
forever.
obviously, of like Dan Day and Paul Gulacy, who like
Mhm.
Dan Day would I don't know if you guys are familiar with Aztec Ace, but he would put like 12, 14 panels on a page, but there were people talking back and forth, and and he made it look interesting. But it's hard to do. It's hard to make it look interesting.
Sure.
I remember Bendis and Oming used to do that with Powers. All those talking heads, but it was just heads, making faces.
Yeah.
And it worked, but at the same time, it doesn't always work,
Yeah. Robert Kirkman did that too in Invincible. Like he would just have a bunch of just talking heads.
He did.
On the page. Like you would have tons.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. It's just not
absolutely
conducive to
absolutely.
To everything. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like some of these pages, like some of these big splashes, Keith, they can just be prints. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. I think there were certain pages that we were talking about that even in the last book. I think we made a printout of one of the pages in the last book.
We did, yeah.
I think we were talking about
like
the
that
last
right there. That's a print right there. Like that.
Oh, that's a very it's very moody kind of ominous.
That's
page,
the whole point is to make the art tell a story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But even on that page, Keith, like if you scroll back up, Sam, or Dan, I don't know, like his sword almost divides. It becomes the panel. You know what I mean?
It moves your eye.
And the next thing comes up. Yeah. So it's really well designed. So kudos to you, man.
It's a lot of movement. I'm big on movement. I'm not into stagnant images, really. If you're reading a story, it has to feel alive. It has to feel organic and moving and living and breathing, and that it just has to have that flow. It's it's hard to pull it off on every page, but whenever there's an opportunity to take a design element and make something move, I'm on it, as much as I can.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. No, this looks great, Keith. I mean, guys, this looks good. This looks good. I think obviously you guys are you're gonna kill it, and hopefully, you're gonna unlock a lot of stretch goals because I'd like to get some freebies when they're done. But yeah, dude, like I mean, and so this is gonna culminate in issue number 3. I know we talked about possibly having other things going on, but individually, are you guys working on anything else outside of Road to Valhalla? And I'll start with you, John.
Oh, yeah.
Are you working on anything else individually?
Yeah, coming from GWP, we're working with a guy, Elmo Baldock. His name is. He's from the Philippines, and we're doing a monsters in Japan type of book.
Cool.
So it takes place in 1897, the end of the samurai, and what happens when Frankenstein's monster and Count Dracula, maybe, and a werewolf meet up in 1897 Japan.
Oh, right.
So
awesome.
That's the concept of the next one. Yeah. Right. And really, it's kind of like, and the underlying concept is if you could live 2 lives, if you could live a second life, what would you do with it? And how would you feel about that first one? Did you waste it? Did you learn anything from it? So, yeah, there's a little extra going on there.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that sounds.
But of course, there'll be lots of blood and monster stuff too.
Of course. And what about you, Keith? What do you got going on?
No, it's the same. I pretty much committed to it's called yokai, and right now it's called yokai. I'm gonna change it again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it should probably stay that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but so we're gonna do an issue 0 world building book where we introduce all these characters, and all points are leading Japan. They're all motivated to be in Japan for one reason or another. And then the most important part is that there's these these creatures called yokai in Japan, that their version of monsters, and we get introduced to a few of them, or at least one of them in the issue 0, and that's the second story, which I'm going to be illustrating a short story, and Elmo is already Emo or Elmo. Elmo. He's already done 12 pages of the main story that leads into the issue 1. So they're amazing pages. We're really psyched about this story, and we're going to start developing that, and getting ready to launch that issue 0 at some point, probably in the new year.
All right. Exciting stuff. Are you guys going to be at shows before we let you guys go? Are you guys doing any shows coming
Baltimore, and for Halloween, and we're going to just hit it that last. It was intentional to be there for the end of the campaign. Yeah. So we're hoping to kind of bring it home there and get people excited about yokai and let them know that's coming. That's our next big baby, and that's it for me anyway. I don't know, John. You're doing Rhode Island? Maybe you said.
Well, I am a big fan of Providence, Rhode Island, so I tend to go there any chance I get.
Any chance, yeah.
If we don't have a table there, then I'll be walking around, the floor causing trouble. So
I'll say I'm not going. I'll say I'm not going. Then John will be going. I'll go with you.
What day are you going? Okay, fuck it, let's go.
Right. Yeah, I'll just clear my day. I'll go up with him.
Man. That's cool. I'm glad.
Sometimes Hector will have a table, and we'll just go down there and harass.
Right.
Or somebody. We'll just harass somebody. We'll show up with glasses of wine and be obnoxious. Like, oh, have you sold anything? No.
I love the fact that shows are back.
We never do that.
Shows are back and it's fun. Yeah. But guys, listen, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. Good luck with everything. I'm sure you guys are going to kill it. And, you're always welcome back.
Yep, we'll be back. We'll be back with yokai. How's that?
I love the production. This show is great, dude. I really like the way you guys put it together. Oh, by the way, before we go, I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, look at that!
Oh,
it's a character.
That is
the duck, the Wonder Duck. Oh man, that's hot.
Wow, brother, that looks amazing.
So next time I see you,
yes,
remind me to give it to you.
I may have to go to Rhode
My
Island.
daughter did that.
Really? Wow.
She saw it and she got a kick out of the character, and there it is.
Awesome,
very talented,
dude.
Very talented.
Oh, listen, I may have to go to Rhode Island. I mean, Providence down the road.
Let me know if you're going. Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Sweet, man, sweet. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming on, and John, thank you for the join. Keith, you guys know. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Awesomeness.
Yeah. So again, the campaign up right now. The link is in the chat. The link is in the summary. Go check out the Road to Valhalla if you haven't done so already. It's a fantastic series, and if you want to know more about it, check out the What's in a Box episode where I featured Road to Valhalla. I had fun doing that.
Yeah, episode number 14. So look it up in the archives, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget. Sam, you got a long night, bro.
I got a long.
You got a long night, dog. You're gonna be talking some stuff coming up next. Don't forget, guys. Sam is going to Nerds of the Round at 9 p.m.
Started to itch for the hang out with nerds. They start itching.
That's it, brother. Oh man, no, but good time talking to Keith and John. They've been at this for a long time. They've been doing it for a while, so they know what they're doing. And it's nice to see them still producing books, man. I love that.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's good to see the squad, that we started in the game with, it's always good. It's when you see everybody still, fighting the good fight, that's always awesome.
Yeah, big time, man. Big time. But no, thank you everyone for joining us. Don't forget, we have another live show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We're going to be on. We have another guest.
Jerry Chetterlane for E4 Comics tomorrow. But join me tonight in 6 minutes. I'm going to be on Nerds of the Round. We're going to be talking about She-Hulk and the Game of Thrones. Something of the Dragon. There you go. House of the Dragon. I can't remember. I actually keep saying Game of Thrones.
Oh man,
these guys get the names of all the characters on lock, and I'm like the princess the Queen, the King,
dude, those names
the Hand. I just know by the titles.
yeah, the Hand. There's some good acting in that show, man. There's some really good acting, bro.
Yo,
really
but you know what? See, I was telling my wife, I was like, it sucks to be the actors that have to get replaced because the time change.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, yo, I'm on Game of Thrones. I'm going to be banking. I'm going to have cheddar. And the next you know, I'm gone after two episodes. Yeah, I'm like, oh, the first princess.
Yeah, she was good, man. I like.
Oh, she reminded me of Khaleesi. Like she had that temperament, that swag. You know, the second one, she's coming into her own. And at first, I was feeling it. Then she's like, "Oh, she's coming into her own."
I agree. Yep. Same thing, even with the Queen.
Yes,
I forget her name. Alicent is her name. Yeah, same thing with her. It took a while for me to kind of get acquainted with these characters.
The dad screwed up because he thought he was talking to his daughter, and the Queen thinks it's her, and she's like, "Oh." It's about to pop off.
She's like, you got it, sir.
You got it. You mean I get to? Oh, I thought it was her. It's like, no.
I'm on it.
Damn. And then he gives that speech. He's dying. He's dying. He gives that speech, and then the kids tear it up. I'm like, come on. Yeah, it was just like too much anxiety. You
knew something was gonna happen, though. They can never just go to dinners and parties and weddings.
Those kids don't get it, bro.
Something always has to go down in those shows.
Death comes because of those brat kids. That's what happens.
It's gonna be some stuff.
But anyway, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, share with a friend. Let us know that you dig what we do here at Catch the Craze Podcast. And if you have any questions for our guests, put it in the comments below, and I'm sure that they will answer it. And if you haven't done so, also please give Disney Alien and My Toilet a shot. It's not too cool to laugh. It's all ages fun comedy. Check it out. I got 8 days left. So with that said, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are
it's just easy. It's not.
Crazy.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquise. I met him. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
he described me. He said, I'm the
what? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.